Hello friends to our Dr. Vet channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor and Head Veterinary Medicine. We have already seen very important disease Hemoptysis part 1. Now we'll see here part 2. In this important topic pathogenesis and clinical findings of Hemoptysis. Friends, listen the pathogenesis very properly. You can understand the clinical findings of not only this parasite but of the other parasite also. The principal pathogenesis of hemoptysis is, remember, vigorous blood sucking. They are voracious blood suckers. Their activities is blood sucking, especially fourth stage larva and adult parasite in the abomasum. They suck the blood in the abomasum. See, it is estimated that daily loss of whole blood is about 0.05 ml of blood per worm per day. Remember this, 0.05 ml of blood per worm per day. So if large number of the parasites are there, they may cause severe anemia. If less number, not much problem. But large numbers suck blood, and at the place of sucking, there is bleeding also. So there is loss of blood. There is hemorrhagic anemia. Blood sucking, there is one type of loss of blood in the form of hemorrhage, hemorrhagic anemia, and there is reduction in number of RBCs, reduction in the hemoglobin content, and reduction of the packed cell volume. Large number of the Haemonchus parasites, they form a mat, and in abomasum they sometimes cause blockade type symptoms. And this large number of parasites, when attack on the abomasal wall, it causes chronic inflammation of mucous membrane. So when you study the parasitic gastroenteritis, remember this Haemonchus. Parasitic gastroenteritis, keep this Haemonchus in mind. We continue here the pathogenesis. Large number of the parasite attack on the abomasal wall, and it causes disturbance in the function of abomasum, important organ for the digestion. So there is indigestion of the food, and when indigestion, there is malabsorption of the food. There is other digestive disturbance also, loss of blood and loss of protein leads to anasarca condition, accumulation of this edematous fluid intermedullary leads to bottle jaw condition, accumulation of fluid in the peritoneal cavity leads to ascites, and accumulation of fluid in other parts also. This parasite excrete certain toxins and metabolites. These are in the blood, and this toxin and metabolite causes reduction of erythropoiesis of the bone marrow. So formation of RBC and hemoglobin, that means blood, is reduced to a great extent, and that is also the reason of the anemia. The death occur due to blood loss because of the anemia. Coming to the important part, clinical findings, is interest to the clinician. There are two types of the clinical finding: acute form of disease and chronic form. As a rule, when there is parasitic diseases, when large number of the parasite attack on the body or attack in the organ, generally animal manifest acute form. And when small number of parasites are attack on the body, then animal manifest chronic form. This is general rule. Many times it works. Exceptions are there. Mostly lambs and young sheep are affected. An acute form is caused by large number of worms at a time when attack in the abomasum. Animal manifest loose feces, presence of blood in the feces, diarrhea, bloody diarrhea. The feces sometimes look black because bleeding is in the abomasum. The blood is digested in the intestine. So it may not be a red frank blood, but may be a black feces. Melena is the black terry red color feces. That suggests that hemorrhage may be in the upper part of the GI tract. Because of the severe anemia, there is paleness of the mucous membrane. Clinician can diagnose this paleness by examination of the conjunctiva and other mucous membrane. There is great exhaustion due to severe anemia. The animal sits down, recumbency, great weakness. There is bottle jaw condition, accumulation of edematous fluid in the intermedullary region. That is a common manifestation of the many parasitic diseases. And there is a sudden death when there is severe anemia. We see here the clinical findings and chronic form of the disease. When less number of worms are attacking over a longer period in abomasum, it causes a chronic form. And this occurs in the most of the animals. There is gradual weakness due to hypoproteinemia and anemia. The gait become very slow. So it is common observation that the sick sheep is left behind the flock. It will be at the last of the flock. There is staggering gait. The animal move to some distance, again stops, again move, again stops. Staggering gait. Paleness of the mucous membrane. It suggests anemia. And because of anemia, there is increased respiration because the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood is reduced to a great extent. Because of the protein loss, due to blood loss, there is loss of body weight, progressive emaciation, and it may reach to akathisia. Only bone and skins are seen, cachexia, extreme stage of the emaciation. Bottle jaw condition, accumulation of edematous fluid in peritoneal cavity, ascites. There is great reduction in quality and quantity of the wool, and there are fall of the wool, that is patches of alopecia are seen on the sheep. Friends, this Haemonchus contortus infection has a peculiar phenomenon that is called a self-cure phenomenon. There is automatic cure after some time. That is self-cure phenomenon. Now, what is technically happening? When the sheep is infested with Haemonchus contortus, and this self-cure phenomenon is also observed in other parasite also. For your information, I have taken here Haemonchus contortus or Trichostrongyllus columbiformis. And they show there is automatic cure, apne aap, self cure phenomenon. Now what is this? We will see here. After a period of heavy rain in area, you know that these parasites grow well in the warm humid climate. So this results into endemic hemoncosis. Endemic hemoncosis, large number of the hemoncosis cases in the area. There is a developing fourth stage larva into the body of the animal. They act as a antigen. Again speaking, fourth stage larva act as a antigen in the body of the sheep. This fourth stage larva, their larval antigen, initiates a immediate type of hypersensitivity reaction. It is called as allergic reaction. Immediate type of hypersensitivity reaction to this larval antigen. And due to this and due to other reason, there is automatic expulsion of major part of the adult worm burden without any drug. No treatment is required. This is self-cure mechanism. This expulsion of the worm from the sheep is called as self-cure. The egg per gram drops sharply near to zero because adult worms are expelled. So there are no eggs into the feces or no larva in the feces. The self-cure is for the mutual benefit of both the host sheep and the parasite. So both can live together very nicely. This self-cure mechanism of Haemonchus contortus infection occurs under natural condition, even in the absence of reinfection. So even first infection or reinfection both causes this self-cure mechanism. This is important for the clinician. The scientists give explanation behind this automatic cure, self-cure, self-expulsion of the Haemonchus worm from the GI tract. Which are the factors that cause expulsion of parasites? One is high histamine concentration because the antigen initiate antibody. So antigen causes histamine release, high histamine concentration. There is high antibody titer because the antigen initiates antibody, fourth stage larva. When larva attack on the abomasal wall, they causes inflammation of the local tissues. That also helps in expulsion. High histamine contraction, concentration, high antibody titer, inflammation, all these expel worm. When there is inflammation and more worms, there is irritation and that cause increased peristalsis of the GI tract. That also expel the worm. And the last factor is there is change or alteration of the pH of the GI tract. That also kills the worm. Because of these five factors, there is expulsion of the worm and that is called as self-cure phenomena of the haemoncosis. Friends, haemoncosis is very important disease for examination point of view for students, for field veterinarians as a clinician, for sheep, for the farmers also. Please share this information to as many as possible to vitalize and to support this channel. requested to subscribe the channel. Thank you very much for observing the video. Next time we'll come with part 3 of the hemochromatosis. This is very important disease.